All right. Can you guys see it okay?
I see you, buddy.
All right.
Let's
Okay.
go.
So leverage to me is being in more than one place at a time. All right. And so when we talk about leverage, it doesn't matter if you're running a high level company or you just got your license last week. You want to be in more than one place at once. And for me, it all started in 2016. I fell in love with, and I recently learned how to say its name, Zapier. I always called it Zapier, but it's apparently Zapier. And Zapier is my digital duct tape. And you don't need to know how to program. You just need to want to connect stuff together. And something that some might be surprised by, I actually don't enjoy it.
What? Dude, I
I
thought for
know.
sure you like spent hours on the back end of this stuff.
I do not like it. I don't, but it's because I hate hard work and failure more.
Now you sound like all the other engineers out there. They're like, oh, we're trying to find the shortcut to everything.
Right. So I'm going to give you guys my super not impressive approach to how I leverage. Basically, if I'm annoyed by it, I make a mistake. If there's bottlenecks in my business, if a failure occurs, if I'm confused or bored, I'm going to try to find a way to have something or someone do it for me. And for those of you that have, I wanted to like start sharing immediately because during the first session, I saw people saying, okay, they didn't say it this way, but what about the people that, we're not floating in cash. We can't buy all these apps. What do we do? Right. And that's where I think just a healthy dose of Zapier knowledge and understanding, for me, it went a long way because the stuff that I did in 2016, I'm still reaping the dividends from those apps. Those apps in 2016, they're still going on. They're still the messaging and the videos. I went through a phase where I shaved my head, and those videos with me having a shaved head are still working, and so I haven't taken them down. So it's very simple. If it's annoying, if you make mistakes, if you are hindered by something, you should find a way to leverage. So for example, when I was in production in 2012, I did 125 homes on my own with no assistant, no transaction coordinator. I was crushing it and miserable. Number one agent in our market for units. And I was like, I'm not going to have a family at the end of this.
Can we talk about that balance really quick? Because,
go ahead.
Tom, you, Carrie, and I brought it up at the beginning. It's like we're trying to figure out this whole ideal mindset to have while we're working. And sometimes we get caught up like 125 transactions on your own. That is not healthy, dude.
No, it was horrible. It was so, and there were a few moments where in our market, if you don't have the earnest money deposit in the title company or brokerage's hands within a certain amount of time, you are supposed to be reported to, DPOR, the licensing board. And I remember one night waking up at like 3 a.m. and freaking out and searching my email to find out, did I drop off this EMD? Okay, so that's one of those annoying things that I was like, okay, how can I not depend on my memory? And how can I not depend on me being consistent to get this done? Because I'm not great at either. And so I figured out a way to have a form, like a jot form, where I fill it out, I hit submit. Everybody that needs to be notified, everybody that needs something is notified through one form submission. So, back in the day, it was very simple, but it worked and it kept me out of trouble. And that's the principle that I want you guys that are trying to scale and leverage your business, is that, you need to find a process to try to, avoid that from happening.
All right, dude. Sorry to sidetrack you there, but I wanted you to
actually, I would rather I don't think it's a sidetrack. I think you are asking questions that probably a lot of people in the audience are asking.
Well,
So,
people are loving it. So just do me a favor, everybody that's watching. This is recorded, and we're playing it into the Leverage community. I just put up the link there, so that'll live up there. You can watch the replay. And later in the day, once this is done in about 2 hours, I'm going to go ahead and post all of the products and tech that we brought up in all of the sessions. So you can just go there and check them out. This way, if you have questions about Zapier, if you have questions about, what was that company that you said, Photo Logo?
yeah, Photo
All of
Logo did
those.
my signature. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll post them all up there. So go ahead and request to join the Leverage community, and we'll have it all up there. All right, dude.
I tried to zoom in, but it's not working. So
I'm liking it. I see it.
all right. So now what I'm going to do is just give you guys examples of my problem that I had, how I wanted to solve it, and then what I used to solve it, so that you guys, because I want people to come away and actually, your business is, everybody's business is very different. Every market's different, right? Real estate's hyper local. So like, I didn't want to just tell you guys what to do. So I was really dependent on Zillow and realtor.com. Okay. So like I in 2016, everybody made money except for me. My lender, my broker, my agent, Zillow, but I didn't, for whatever reason. I don't know why, but our area, the portal leads have always been very expensive. So I went to work to try to find how to decrease it, how to decrease my spend. So, I bought Ylopo. Tristan really said to me in 2016, look, you need to buy Ylopo. It's going to remarketing, and it's going to, you're going to get leads from Facebook. And I was really not interested. But I bought it, and I'm really glad I did, because now I work for them. But the remarketing kept my database on my website, and I don't have to do anything about it. Raya is the texting that Ylopo did, and it's 24/7. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to do anything. It's there, right? And then I've got a couple of ponds in Follow Up Boss. I have a storage pond. So this is where, we've got about 130,000 contacts in our Follow Up Boss. And so if they're not active or triggering alerts through the remarketing, they're in a storage pond. And then the second they do something important, and there's all kinds of importance, there's, they save a home, they share a home, all these different things. They have a conversation with AI. It automatically goes from the storage pond to the priority pond. So that's an automation within inside of Follow Up Boss. And then when it hits the priority pond, it automatically alerts all the agents on our team that have access to the priority pond. But it doesn't just do that. Okay. Then that contact, that lead, is automatically connected to Zapier. And then it goes to either call action or callingly, it calls my sales team. So just to rewind for a second, lots of old leads in a storage pond. Ylopo's remarketing, Raya's texting. I'm not doing anything. I'm in my pajamas. I'm trying to be like Robert Slack and riding horses and all that stuff, right? So
Robert's here. Robert, what do you do
that? But then the remarketing works. It pulls them back. It automatically prioritizes them, right, in the priority pond. And then it automatically calls my entire team. The first person to answer and press 1, the system automatically calls the prospect. So here's, leads from 8 years ago that suddenly become active. And in 5 seconds, we happen to be calling them. And the script is, hey, you've been in our database for a really long time. Did you ever find a home? Because we're cleaning up our system. And if you don't have any real estate needs, we're going to go ahead and remove you so we don't bother you. And so, and then the people are like, wow, I'm on your website right now. Really? That's crazy. I didn't know that. Okay. So but it works really, 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 really well because I'm talking to the right person at the right time, at the right moment. And that's going on as I'm talking to you guys. Right? Like I'm teaching you guys something, but while I'm teaching you, I'm actively reducing my cost per lead through technology in the implementation of it.
Why do you think it's so hard for agents to come in and say, okay, well, I see the tech stack that you have, right? You've got Ylopa, you've got the retargeting and the Raya part of this. You've got the Ring My Phone. You've got other things that you didn't even bring up there, like AM cards and Follow Up Boss and all this stuff. Why is it so hard for agents just to start with one and keep on going? What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I think I really think people are just too easily satisfied. I think that, you know, they don't care enough about changing the way things have always been. And I'm not judging them. I watch this all the time. They just deal with it. And it's a blessing and a curse for me, because like I just can't deal with it. If it's annoying, you know, I go back to my list. If it's annoying, if it's a mistake, if it's a problem, if it's hindering me, I just want something, so I don't want to worry about it anymore. I'm an anxious dude, you know what I mean? Like I just want to get it off my plate. So that's my opinion anyway. I don't know if you would agree, Tristan.
I do, man. I like that. And I do agree with that. I think it's a challenge too, that a lot of us forget, like we were telling Tom earlier, we forget that we can't do it ourselves. Like we
Yeah.
can't do everything ourselves. It takes a massive team, technology, leveraging people to be able to grow to where a lot of people are envisioning they want to grow, whether it's an actual team, right? Like
Mhm.
to have an organization like Roberts, right? Or just to be a single agent, but be able to feel to the consumer that you're everywhere, like what you're doing right now with what you're showing
Right.
with that
Right.
text. And I
Right.
think that it takes a lot of hard work. And I think people forgot that it takes work, man. It takes
Yeah.
leverage, whether it's tech or people, right? It could be
Right.
both or it could be one. So I have a question for you, Barry, and the same question for Robert a little bit later. That's what are you looking at next to hire talent wise? Who is
Mhm.
that's going to fit into your organization?
Yeah. Well, for me, I went all in with virtual assistants. I mean, and there's a slide on it, but like um, we have 7 now, and each has their own unique function. And you know, my shtick, the reason why people come to our brokerage, which is a traditional brokerage, but the reason why they see value in it and they don't mind sharing their commission with us is because, let's say the normal transaction takes 100 hours. Well, most teams give the deal to the buyer or
Mm-hmm.
to the agent, and the agent works 100 hours and splits their commission. So their hourly rate is cut in half. For us, yes, we're splitting the commission, but because we're leveraging their day and they're not having to do everything, they're, instead of 100 hours, right, it's 50. And so now they get to decide with because now their hourly rate went back up. Do you want to work more, or do you want to go spend time with your family? But that's why agents that have been licensed for 10 to 15 years will come on my team, and people will say, why are you going on a team? Because normally it's a demotion in your business. You know, you don't want to be on
Yeah.
a team,
Mm-hmm.
but when you're leveraging their time, it doesn't have to be that way.
That's so
I don't
true.
even know if I answered your question, but
You did, which goes into my next question for a lot of people listening in. They're like, well, this is a little overwhelming. Why? I don't even know where to start. And it goes back to my question, where do people start? But let's say they're not techie, dude. What do you do? Like, how do you continue to evolve without understanding what you need to do on the tech side? I think that's where we bring in either somebody that understands this fully and we hire them, we take a dive into hiring a part-time person, somebody who understands this, or what's the other option here, Barry? Where do we start?
well, I so it's funny. So email, like I don't understand email, DNS settings, CS names, like all these weird little things. I don't get it. And I really don't want to get it. Like I tried and I'm just afraid I'm going to break something. So I hired somebody on Upwork from Ghana who had 300 5-star reviews. That is a G Suite. Like this was over the last 48 hours. And he found some stuff that was like really, really wrong with the way that we had our email set up. And I think it's going to cost me like $200.
So is that going to increase your deliverability of emails? Is that why you hired them?
Yes, I wanted to leverage SendGrid even more. And apparently I broke a lot of stuff when I tried to do it myself. And so I just went
Because
on
you
Upwork.
suck, Barry. That's why.
Yes, at a lot of things. But I'm no, but I'm like,
I was
I'm
I was telling the
but I
truth.
know that. Yeah, I know that.
I'm joking. That's funny. Chris said we nailed this question. Look, for everybody listening in, and I'm glad Robert's here because we all suck so bad at a lot of stuff, and we've hired out to
Yeah.
to our weaknesses, and we're trying to, just like Tom said at the very beginning, we're trying to stay on our lane and figure out exactly what we're amazing at and only do more of that. Because the
Mhm.
moment Barry starts trying to figure out how his email's working and the SMTP crap and all this other stuff that I have no idea on, that's where we start failing. It's like, really, do we want to be there? Like Robert digging in the weeds in this company, trying to figure out how the database works and retargeting, that is definitely not what Robert needs to be doing.
Right.
I realized when I was 3 months into selling real estate that I kind of sucked at it, so I needed other people to do it, so.
John Maxwell has a book, Failing Forward, that I read when I was, I think 19. And he said most people are only good at like 3 things, but our culture teaches us to be well-rounded and to be good at everything. But if we focus on the few things that we're actually good at, we'll find true success. And that impacted me because I was very aware of what I was bad at.
That's true, man. I love that. And that's so good. I think because part of the culture that we're in is like it's so ultra competitive and it feels like we have to know
Right.
a lot of things. And the fact is when we focus on the high achievers, they're so focused in on what they're great at that they make everything else look amazing because they've hired the right people.
Yep.
And that's the top and bottom of it there. To be honest, if you're good at 2 things, if you hire the right people and you can see the right programs to let those people work with and which are going to give you the ROI, if you're good at those 2 things, you've got it.
Well, and Robert, how many homes are you guys hoping to sell this year?
So we'll be about 7,500.
7,500, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
We'd like to do more. We need to do more. We're kind of
Yeah.
sucking a bit at the moment, so.
Dude, you're falling behind, man. Come on.
I know, I get it.
I'm just saying, like, I for anybody that has been under a rock and doesn't know who you are, I wanted them to know that, like, you kind of sell a lot of houses. So it's, and
But we've been doing this for 6 years, Barry. We need to be selling a lot of houses, so.
You only sell about 7,300 more than I do. That's all.
Yeah, but you sell one for 75 million and we sell some single wide for 29 grand,
That's also true, but I love your organization. All right. So Barry, when it comes to virtual assistants,
yeah,
what are you looking for when you're hiring one? Because I know that, like, I don't hire a VA for everything. I have an in-house crew, in-house staff, right? But what do you hire one for besides what you just showed me, which is like very niche email online sort of thing?
Yep. So let me look. So if you think about the people that work in your office, you've got good employees and you've got bad. And the bad employees are limited a little bit by being bad just by physically being around others. If they've got bad habits, if they're lazy, if they steal, they have to hide it. And at least they work a little bit. But when you work from home, I feel like the good and the bad are magnified significantly. Like I have 3 degrees. 2 of them I got from home, right? Before online school was popular. And it made me grow because I wasn't distracted. I was at home and I could just do it on my own. But then others flunk out when they're doing it from home. They need that social pressure. Well, I have all 6 of my virtual assistants are in the Philippines. And there have been numerous occasions where I had to let people go. Numerous. And
Is it because, hold on, Barry, is it because you sucked or is it because they sucked?
They were dishonest.
Okay.
And I'll trust you until you give me a reason not to. And And so, but I'll say that I use Time Doctor to manage them, and it takes pictures of their screens, and you can give them tasks. So when I hire somebody, I used Time Doctor 2. That's very confusing, by the way. There's 2 versions. I use the second version. It's very that is not good about it. But once you pick a version, you're good. And it takes pictures. Then you have projects that you give each VA and tasks within that project. And then when they're working on whatever you tell them to do, they select, okay, Barry wants me to do this. They click it, and now it takes pictures. And then it integrates with my payroll software, Gusto. So then you just click a button and it, sucks it all in there. And before you know it, I've got a web designer, a graphic designer, 2 ISAs, and 2 transaction managers.
All right, I'm gonna put the link to yours there, Barry. I just put the one I use. It's called Timely. Check out that one. What was yours? Time Doctor, you said?
Yeah, Time Doctor. Timely, huh?
Yeah.
Why is
HubStaff another one?
It's really smooth to use. Timely, dude. That's why I switched. We were using Time Doctor a while ago, but we switched out of it. Robert, you had a question. What was it?
Is HubStaff another one? I'm not just sure what we use. I delegate that part of it. So,
yeah, that actually is another one. So we've got 3.
HubStaff.
Yeah. HubStaff, Time Doctor, and Timely. So we're going to put those in there.
I'm going to check Timely out. I did not know about this. So yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah,
it looks really cool.
That's the good thing about these webinars. We find out all the stuff that Tristan's using that we should all be using, So.
Dude, Robert, we're gonna compile all these, because we already have at this point like 25 companies we've already brought up. We're gonna compile those and dump them into the leverage community. So I'll send those out to you guys too. Barry, anything else you want to add here in closing? I know I took you astray here, but I think it was good for all of us.
I think it was excellent for all of us. The last thing, let me just share my screen again, and I'm going to share this. This has been really big for us. So when my agents, past clients in Sphere it's really important. And so, but I also need to keep my brand, the office, in front of the consumer, because I'm not selling houses anymore. So the second that my agent changes the stage to closed, actually we do that automatically too, but time doesn't allow me to go into that. A whole bunch of automations kick in, and a call action drip fires, and it's me. Hey, this is Barry, the Chief Marketing Officer. My agent probably didn't want to bother you with this, but we're having a contest, and if you'll review them, and put their name in the review, they're going to get an entry. I'm about to text you a link, and the link goes to my Ylopo, because automating reviews, you're going to get a lot of good and bad, because not everybody's happy. But Ylopo has a review filter, so it's a gated review. So if it's 4.5 stars or less, it goes to a form that they fill out, and then I get an email.
Ooh.
4.5 and above, it goes to a landing page where I put my the things that I want reviews on, which is my Google page and Boast, like a video platform, so I can get video testimonials.
Do you, on that, really, I'm going to pause you on that, because do you also send out anything through AM cards when you get like a 5-star review?
Yes. So when we get the review, we use AM cards. We've connected it to all of this automation. AM card it has a handwriting font, and we have the $60 a month membership, and it mails them a card. And it's funny, but those cards actually have an impact on our past clients. EvaBot, a week later, we send them a text from EvaBot. EvaBot is a thing that basically it has fun with the consumer. It gets them, their interests, and then sends them a $30 gift. And the reason why this is big is after the consumer or the past client takes the gift, EvaBot asks their birthday, it asks their shipping address, and then that backfills in Follow a Boss. So then now I've got their date of birth. And so now Happy Grasshopper is sending them personal touches, voicemails, happy birthday, just really personal touches. All of this is happening automatically. This has been a big deal for us because it's increasing my agents' Sphere referrals, and it's all done. Like, I don't have to do anything. I set it up, I turned it on, I walked away from it. And that's why that kind of stuff is important.
All right, dude. Last question from somebody here on AM cards, only because we brought it up. What's the cost on that? And do you know it just offhand?
They have a $30 plan and a $60 plan. And the $30 plan, I think you can do 15 cards. The $60 plan, you can do 30. It's cheaper. So like you could do 35. And it's actually really good, and great Zapier connection, embedded app inside of Follow Up Boss. So my agents, when they have a homeowner, they can just pick a card inside of Follow Up Boss that I wrote, and they just drop down and it has a picture, and then it pushes the fact that you sent the card into the note or the center of Follow Up Boss with a picture. And so that's been really good. They're actually using it, which is the idea.
I love that, dude. So we use AM cards. I don't use it as structured as you do, but we use it for lab code agents. So when somebody connects well with us or we talk to them, they do something great for us, I ask our VA team, hey, can you send out something really nice here, like brownies or a gift or a card to people? So nice.
Yeah, and I've gotten your brownies, the box of brownies, and you can.
Don't tell
it's
Robert.
worth about 5 to 8 pounds. Of,
That's why we don't send it to Robert.
All right.
You've seen my profile.
You don't want to have a
Tristan?
heart attack.
I didn't get the brownies.
Oh, that's fun.
Thanks for the opportunity, Tristan. I appreciate it, man.
Dude, thanks for being on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Thanks, bro.
See you,
Oh,
Robert.
wait. If you want to put your community number in the chat so people can reach out to you with any questions.
Be still my heart. Yes.
Right. So Barry's going to put up his phone number, text him, call him, and he's about to release his new book in about less than a month, would you say?
It could be that soon. It just depends on the editor, if they think that I went the wrong direction or something.
All right.
And if I agree with them.
All right, cool. He'll put his number there. Go ahead and text him. It's his community number. So he'll give you a lot of tidbits and you can text with him directly. It's not his VA who's texting you back. It's him.
No, it's me. And just text the word sales, and then you'll be opted in, and I can like send you texts every once in a
Do we
while.
need to put our credit card in, Barry, at the same time?
No,
So
totally free.
Security number.
Totally free.
Do you take Discover, Barry?
I do, but it's totally free.
Okay. Thanks, Barry. I'll leave it
All right.
there.
Thanks. All right.